tattoo. More like the girl with the 2.5 hour long dragon tattoo. I got really excited to see the girl with the dragon tattoo. It was one of my most anticipated of the year, and there were a couple of friends I knew who said it was awesome. Like Critic Nick, a good friend on YouTube of mine. He makes awesome videos. If you haven't subscribed to him, link will be in the underbar, is that what you call it now? For the most part, the reviews were great, the trailer looked awesome, and with the series continuing this August, I was really looking forward to the film. Now, the film isn't as great as I thought it was going to be, but I still really enjoyed it. The girl with the dragon tattoo is set around two characters primarily. We have a reporter and we have Naomi Raspy. I know I'm saying the name wrong. The girl with the dragon tattoo, who is Elizabeth. We find out that there is something that has gone undiscovered in a murder that they've both been hired to do by two different parties. The reporter starts to find leads around this family about Nazis, and that the family were Jews, and that part of the family were also Nazis. So we have a murder mystery there, trying to puzzle everything together, and the girl with the dragon tattoo is a very disturbed character who doesn't necessarily know what she has to do to get money and all of that, as we see in some scenes. Third act, we then find out these two parties have collided together to try and solve the murder. We then find out that this family that they are working for has something underneath that has gone overlooked. And by the end we have a climactic finish which just goes on for a bit too long. Let's start off with a good point. Performances, especially from Naomi Raspy, if I am pronouncing her name right, I don't think I am. She actually becomes the girl with the dragon tattoo. She isn't the actress, she is Elizabeth, and she does do it really well. She, I wouldn't say becomes a tormented soul or any of these fancy words. She isn't any of this and all that. She just becomes the girl with the dragon tattoo, and that's why her performance is so good. Because we are going on a journey and she makes it possible for us to go on that journey. If that makes any sense. The best part I found with the girl with the dragon tattoo is that with many thrillers this year, to be honest, Shutter Island is my main example, is that, you know, I predicted everything in the first 30 minutes. It's the same with Fight Club. It's something I predicted in the first 30 minutes of the film. Complete waste of my time. 2 hours later, I knew the ending coming. With this film, it's a journey that I go on with. A journey where I have to solve the puzzles, I have to do this, I have to do that. It doesn't leave itself up to the film to give you everything in the first 30 minutes and you've already worked it out. It's a journey that you go on with the film. I haven't had that sort of experience in a really long time. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is also a really well constructed, solid, thrilling movie for the most part, up until about the 2 hour mark. That's when I lose a lot of cred for the film. The Dragon Tattoo does have a few problems. The girl with the dragon tattoo is more like the girl with a dragon tattoo. She's not an interesting character, and I don't know much about her. I know that she hates her father, she burnt her father from touching her, and I know she doesn't really get on well with her mother, and she can't cling on to relationships, but I don't really know why. But I wanted more backstory in this film for me to really not necessarily care for the character, but for me to know about the character, like why is she a goth? Why did she get into computer hack? The film is, as I said in my intro, it is 2.5 hours long. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I never felt it was 2.5 hours long. I was sat there, by the time I finished, the time flew by. It was like watching The Dark Knight, sort of, but just not as quick. But the film doesn't need to be 2.5 hours long. That was my question by the end. Did this film need to be 2.5 hours long? No. More characters. You could have done more with everything in the film, instead of it just being a highly glossy thriller, which it is, and is a good thing about it. But for the most part, I just felt 2.5 hours long is too long. If a movie is a thriller in its genre, it should allow you to work out what is going on, instead of the soundtrack just going to crescendo and crescendo. And that's apparently just supposed to make you go, okay, something's happening, what am I supposed to do? I'm looking for clues, people. Seems like the soundtrack was a very much old style American thriller type of soundtrack from the likes of James Bond movies. But that's my problem with the film. It doesn't need that type of soundtrack. I wanted to work it out, instead of the soundtrack making me go, okay, what's happening, okay, what's happening, which is what the film did. Overall, what is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Is it worth seeing? Hell yeah, it is worth seeing. I'm not saying it's a bad film, it's just got its fair share of problems. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo has an annoying soundtrack for sure. It's overly long and the character is more like the girl with a dragon tattoo, as I said. And I am looking forward to seeing this series continue. And my thoughts on the remake? Hell, it could be better. The film is well directed, it has wonderful performances, and it's thrilling for about 110 minutes before it starts to go down and have too many endings. It's a 7.5 out of 10.